players. Like
the only thing that I like to get at whatchamacallit, at Starbucks is y'all got like one of those blended drinks that's like a frappuccino or something like that.
oh yeah, those are good.
That's the only thing I get whenever I can only get a Starbucks. I will get a caramel frappuccino.
Dude, get the Starbucks double shot over ice. That shit is good. That's probably the best drink that they have on the menu, in my opinion.
Word. Are we starting? I think we're all here, yeah.
I'm waiting on Sully, but it's not letting me on the watch together for some reason.
I gotta send you a new
Oh, that
one.
was last night.
I'll send you one right now.
Ooh.
Okay.
I just want to see what I get for fighter level 7.
Nothing, because fighters are boring as
right?
hell.
Yeah, I'd realized this. Fighters are kind of lame.
Fighters fight things. Like, that's all they do. Like,
Martial
I see
archetype.
that.
granted,
Right.
if you're not
You can
fighting
add
things,
okay, wait,
you're
wait,
an
wait.
asshole. Like,
You can add half your proficiency bonus to any strength, dex, or con check that doesn't already use your proficiency bonus. That's pretty big. When you make a running long jump, the distance you can cover increases by a number of feet equal to your strength modifier. Okay. Alright.
Did you drop the watch together link, Sully?
it should actually, I think it is actually, since I now have an account on the website, I believe it's the, god damn it, I believe it's the same. I will send you a new one, don't worry.
Yeah, it's just not letting me on the thing. It just says members only, and it keeps like loading.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I just have to accept you. You're good.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and accept you. So go ahead and refresh. You should be good.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm here now.
Oh, dude, it even fucking does this shit for. Oh my god, God bless this, dude. I think it automatically does the archetype thing for me, because most of my acrobatics rolls and whatnot are +4.
The problem is I don't want to use my reaction for half of these because my reactions are supposed to be used to save everyone else.
I'm just stupid and not finding this.
So everybody's still alive? Everybody good?
Yeah, everybody's
I have
still alive.
69 hit
I'm pretty sure
points
everyone
now,
uses
so I'm
this one,
happy
right?
with that.
Which one?
This one. I don't want to say it because everyone's gonna make fun of me. But
Uh,
everyone uses
It's
this.
because it's a great feat.
Why are we gonna make fun of you? Huh?
Shut up! You always make fun of me.
We're gonna do that anyways, so...
Fuck you. I was
Yeah,
thinking
why are we
about.
making fun of you?
I
Like,
was
what's the
thinking
reason
about-
this time?
I was thinking about taking Sentinel.
There's nothing wrong with Sentinel.
Sentinel's
Sentinel's
a
a
great
good
feat.
feat.
Sentinel's even better if you have a polearm.
I don't know what that is.
A polearm is like a reach weapon, like a spear or like a gisarm, a trident, like a weapon that can extend your reach from 5 feet to 10 feet. Because now instead of your threatened range being 5 feet away from you, your threatened reach is 10 feet away from you. So you can straight stop people from miles away.
I already have tough.
so have you guys seen the dice rolling feature on D&D Beyond?
I have
I
seen
have
it.
not.
Yeah.
They released like the new one is like a health potion.
Yeah,
I
saw
got
it.
it for free.
I'm still not gonna use it.
Dude,
I
like
refuse to use
Hey,
D&D
Sully, I
Beyond.
have a question for you.
What's up?
So Nerdania's like half horse. So how does mounted combatant work for Nerdania?
I was actually thinking
Here's-
about that. I
Here's what
saw
I would
that
say.
one.
Here's what I would say. I would say if you wanted to be somebody's mount as far as the mounted combatant feat goes, you could. But the minute that you don't want to be somebody's mount, like, because obviously you both would be taking like the boons and the penalties for being like a mount and a rider, like, because you're both getting like the extra speed, you're both getting the jousting benefits and stuff. But like, for example, I believe with mounted combatant, you can choose to take the damage instead of your mount.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, so like whatever. But like, for example, like if you can force an attack targeting your mount to target you instead, I wouldn't let you use Swirl Warden after that. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want it anyways because there's cooler ones. But I was also like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I wonder how that would work.
who we got? Do we got anybody in the chat? No.
Your mom.
I know we got Anita. What's up, girl?
I could just take that. Here.
In the YouTube chat?
Yeah.
I can't get in there.
You can't get in there. You just gotta go onto the channel.
Can I do it on my phone?
Yeah.
Or what is it? Where is it? Where's the link?
Just go to our YouTube channel. Literally just go to like.
You're speaking gibberish to me right now.
Just type into the search bar "Adventurer's Guide to Dungeoneering."
That is so not how that works at all.
Why
Why didn't you
are
post the
we
link?
averaging per like?
Huh? Why didn't you post a link?
I didn't think I needed one. Trying to remember where you get the link from.
So are we streaming on? We're not streaming on Twitch, right?
No, we stream on YouTube now.
Oh right.
I forgot how to get to the stream.
Same.
I hate you. Do you guys know that?
Well,
Do
maybe
you know that I hate
post the links, jerk butt. Is it this right here?
you? Here we go.
Are you looking at me? These?
Yeah, that's it.
I can't pin stuff because I don't have that privilege, but
Oh shit.
we should pin that
episode-
YouTube link.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, the last episode had a fucking
Oh, I gotta
47
mute it
views.
on
It's
my
not
phone. How
bad.
do I mute? I gotta turn it all the way down. Yeah.
There.
This video has been removed by the uploader. All right,
Yeah, you can't click
that
on old.
link doesn't
You
work.
can't click on the old one.
Yeah, you
I
can't
just
click
put
on any
I
old
just
links.
put a new one in the Discord if you want. If you want that one.
Oh, by the way, everybody that's watching, be sure to join our Discord.
Be sure to join the Discord, like and subscribe.
Comment. The question of the day is comment your favorite candy.
Ooh, good one. Good one.
Yeah! Good engagement. Let's go.
I think I'm gonna go with this one. So,
Can I put a link in
Can
my
we do that?
Discord status?
can we do that, babe? Could I do this one?
Yeah, you can do Sentinel.
We'll put it. You gotta. It's on your computer.
Ooh, I almost clicked the wrong tab. I almost clicked the wrong
Hey, wait,
tab.
there's
What does that mean?
okay,
This
no,
tab.
Thursday
I almost
midnight.
clicked this tab right here.
Tomorrow.
Oh, and then everyone would have saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that.
Would have spoiled the surprise.
Maybe get it out of your tabs.
I can't. I'm not sure it'll save it. So I just keep it there.
Joe knows what I'm talking about. Right, Joe? Joe?
You gotta click on it.
Huh? What?
I'm alone again.
What'd you say?
Nothing, Joe. Don't fucking worry about
Just
it.
email it to me.
I'm worrying about it, bitch ass.
Don't. It's not worth it anymore.
Bitch.
All right, bet.
Bitch ass.
I'm gonna listen to the live
Hey,
stream,
did we
and
just
then I'll
have to
hear you
do
say
the
it there.
Audition
No,
Friday
you-
or Saturday? Like, what did you ask off early for?
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
Because that's the day you told me.
I couldn't remember. Shut up. Leave me alone.
All right. I'm just about set up here.
I believe the intrepid heroes are ready.
All right. I will email you your sheet while I get the ball rolling.
It'll take 300 years.
Alrighty.
Alrighty then.
Also, I can only stay until like 10:15 at max because I gotta get up early tomorrow.
All right. Let's
I feel you. That'll work.
let's move rather quickly then.
Says that as soon as we're about to start the stream. Like,
All right.
by the way.
All right. Pre-game prep talk. No. All right. No, I'm gonna do it soon. Hold on. in that case, let's go ahead and dial it on in. Let's get this show on the road. Welcome, one and all, to another exciting adventure. Another exciting adventure in a crown of candy. We took a week off, but we're back. And I, as always, am your humble dungeon master, and with me are our Candied Crusaders. Say hello, Candied Crusaders.
Hello, Candy.
Now, last we left our intrepid heroes, they were narrowly returning from rescuing a one Duke Joren Jawbreaker of Frosting Falls from a public execution by hanging. Queen Caramelinda, not necessarily sacrificing herself, but keeping herself there for just a little bit longer so everybody could get through the portal by the skin of their teeth, by the skin of their candied corn, if you will. Quite literally.
I almost did not make that.
And though everybody survived, tensions were high. There was some definite some distrust there, as it was discovered that a now Queen Saccharina Frostwhip had different plans for the rescue, per se. You guys were putting your lives out on the line to rescue Duke Joren Jawbreaker. In the meantime, she was stealing weapons and intel from the camp. That being said, people were upset. Some fits were thrown. There was definitely some tantrums and some tension, and everybody kind of like went to their own corners inside of the cavern. Saccharina and Shara Patchley shared a bit of a conversation about how he can't serve two queens, etc., etc. But we didn't get to do something last time that I'm going to ask now. Saccharina stole a bunch of information, a bunch of intel that she asked you guys to kind of decode in the meantime, like while you guys were like pissed off. She was like, make yourselves useful, decode this. Does anybody want to try to like decode the missive?
I'll try.
I will say
What would you need?
It's going to be a little bit, not hard, but this is definitely going to be a series of skill checks that like our intelligence and like, you know what I mean? Like it's intelligence based for like linguistics, like series of like linguistics and just like espionage essentially.
Can I do it? I have all the languages in the world, and I can decrypt anything.
I default to Shara then. Never mind.
That's up to you guys. It's a lot of work, so it's like a lot of It wasn't 3 in a row. I did see you skip one.
I'll ask Shara.
Okay.
Yeah, Shara probably
What
comes
kind
out.
of a check would it be? Just raw intelligence?
It's a series of like intelligence checks. I will say that since Shara is like the spy master, this is like, other than like speaking, this is his realm. This is like what he does. So if you would like to try and decode all of this, I will allow you to do intelligence and proficiency. If you'd like.
I will take it. Actually, Shara, very upset, takes papers into his room, begins to read, says, goes back out, points to someone in the party, say, "You, I need an assistant," and turns back into the room.
Okay.
Who do you point at?
Who are you pointing at?
Anyone who's at the door, it doesn't matter to me.
Are you okay, so I will ask you this before you even make any checks. You aren't alone, correct?
The person, I wouldn't be alone. The person would just be handing me papers, be like, "All right, this is what I went through.
Here's what I'm asking.
This is what
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but here's what I'm asking. Are you having any of the other Candians in the room with you to assist you or provide insight or anything like that? And if so, who is it?
It is going to be Ed. What's the name of your character?
Fernan.
Yeah, I'll go with Ferdin.
Okay. So I will say this. You have two kind of categories of notes here. You have one that is, if you guys remember, Oliver Onion Patch, who is in one of the Bulbian tent, like the buildings that were taken over as like a command post for the Bulbian Church. Oliver Onion Patch was in there, and he had some kind of like notebook with him. It seems that was stolen. So you have Oliver's notes, and then you have the big stack, which is like a bunch of notes that were stolen, like a bunch of like missives and intel stolen from around the camps. Which one would you like to tackle first?
Definitely the... This is a hard choice. Do we need movement, or do we need intel? Are we going for secrets, or are we going for movement? You know what? I'm feeling lucky today. We're going for intel. We're gonna take a look at that notebook.
Oliver's notes. Okay, I need so go ahead and give me just like an espionage. This is gonna be like your like an intel check. So this is gonna be your intelligence mod and your proficiency mod.
Okay. So that would be D20 plus 9. Can I give myself inspiration?
You can't give yourself inspiration, but you do have Fernan with you, so I will say you can roll with advantage if you'd like.
Okay, I will take it. The first roll.
Nice, good roll.
Second roll.
Ooh, better roll. Okay, so that's good. I apologize for everybody here, but this is gonna be kind of a big info dump, assuming he gets most of these. So Oliver has kind of a journal that he's been writing in, and the entries are a bunch of responses to letters he's been receiving from the Pontifex, like from the office of the Pontifex. You're looking at like the scattered forces that are in Candia, and they don't look organized. How organized, like the severity of the disorganization is kind of foreign to you because you're not much of a war person. You don't really know what you're looking at per se, but they don't seem, but you know organization, this isn't it. It looks like their placement is a little weird right now. Because you're looking through these notes trying to find like what's motivating the army per se, what's motivating this invasion. You see, because the Pontifex, and it was kind of good that you chose this one first, the Pontifex isn't writing necessarily to Oliver in a code, per se, at least not yet. So a lot of this is pretty just, like, bland. However, it seems that the Pontifex has called for a holy crusade on Candia. Because she has instituted the Ramseyan Doctrine as official church doctrine. If you'd like, you can go ahead and roll a religion check for me to see if you can determine what the Ramseyan doctrine entails, for, I guess.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Fernan, you are in the room. You can either give him advantage or you can roll as well.
I have a +5 to this.
I'll give you advantage.
Okay. Shara, you are versed in Bulbosi, correct? Like the Bulbian language?
No, because it's not a like a regular language.
Oh,
Is
so here's the thing. You might be able to get with. So there's a lot of like words in here that kind of don't make a whole lot of sense, I guess, in a way, because they're written in very ancient kind of wording. So it's a little bit foreign to you. So even with your check, you might only get like the basics of what the Ramseyan doctrine entails.
In that case, I'm gonna pop my head out through the door. I'm gonna go, Maple.
You seek the assistance of Maple?
Can you read church?
Maple is familiar with church doctrines in the common
Good.
language, but
No,
not...
no, Maple. That's not what I asked you. Can you read church?
God? I don't know about this one.
Do you speak Bulbosi?
No.
Then you don't. You like This is like, you might understand, like, it'd be like, for example, it'd be like you understand, like, the writings of, like, the Holy Bible, but, like, you're looking at, like, a Holy Bible that was written in, like, Old Latin. Some of the words you can, like, guess what they mean, but, like, for the most part, you don't know what it says.
Maple does not read church.
Okay, Maple. Maple, listen to me. And I'm looking Maple in the eye. Find me someone that can read church. And he slams the door in Maple's face.
Maple will go around the camp asking if people can speak Bulbosi.
You get a pretty big resounding, like, no. It seems that, like, for example, most of those marauders here aren't very educated, so, like, asking them if they know an ancient language, they're just like, I don't even know what you just said. Like, they're very lost. Does anybody else speak Bulbosi?
Quick question. Was Bulbosi an option we had to choose?
Only for certain backgrounds.
Okay.
You know, somebody that died spoke it, but
Sorry. You're still welcome to roll the check. I'll say it's a religion check, DC 20.
Could I ask the queen? Does the queen know?
Cara Melinda or
our
Saccharina?
Our queen, not the queen, our queen.
Cara Melinda, she knows a little bit. She's ill-versed, but she knows, like, a little. Like, she could probably help you, like, she might be able to help you, like, limp through it. Like, you still would be missing a lot of information, but she might be able to help you a lot, like, a little bit. She's royalty, so she has to know, like, it to a certain degree, but it doesn't seem like this is a language she has studied.
I mean,
you know
hey,
what?
every little bit helps.
God, I have an idea. I'm going to turn to one of the people, like, even if it's the annoying little gingerbread dude, and be like, hey, buddy. Have we captured any religious people from the church? Like, this is war. We probably captured somebody.
You guys actually had the opportunity to, like, take people from Frosting Falls, and you didn't. So, unfortunately, there's, like, nobody here.
I mean, let's be real here. We didn't really have an option.
I will tell you this.
There are candy golems.
There are, like, Bulbian church, like, priests and stuff here, but they're not alive. They're very much dead.
Oh, how long have they passed?
They're, like, varying, like, moments in time. Some of them are, like, very, very, like, old, like, much older bodies that are, like, have since been seeing, like, a little bit of, like, not decay, but, like, the bugs have gotten to them a little bit. And then some of them look like probably, like, maybe have died within the last day or so.
Alright, I'm going to send a message to, like, the fake queen and say, hey, if you can capture someone, like, a member of the church, like, just in the woods, that would be awesome, because I can use it to decrypt this better.
You have a bunch of, like, non-combat oriented spells, right?
Yes.
Do you have Speak with Dead?
No.
Okay. I was like,
What
we
I
could
do
just grab a
have-
corpse.
What I do have is Mantle of Whispers.
I don't know what
whenever-
the difference is off the top of my head.
Whenever someone who dies within 30 feet of me, I can capture its shadow, and I basically gain everything that it knows.
Oh, wow.
Okay, interesting. Let me roll. I'll roll a survival check. It's a wisdom skill. Saccharina is a cleric, so I'll say she's got a plus 5 to it. What's your proficiency bonus right at this level? 3?
Yep.
So I'll say she has a
Yeah.
plus 6 to it.
Because, like, even if I have to roll a deception to help, be like,
That's
hey,
18.
I'm someone.
That's an 18 plus 6.
Nice.
She's like, she kind of just looks at you and just goes, "You're sure this will help?"
100%.
Okay. She seems like she's gonna be, like, risking a lot, but if that means that you're gonna get these papers decoded, then yeah. Do you want to try and decode anything else in the meantime, or do you want to, like, wait until they find somebody?
I'll take a look at the other documents, but for the meantime, like, I'll leave the stuff that's in Bulbian until I gain the ability to read Bulbian.
Okie dokie.
Follow-up question. Can I be a part of the search parties? Mainly because I want to try and find this damn temple that this damn fairy told me about.
Okay.
That's super well hidden that nobody knows about.
It's a different search party. Like, there's a search party that, like, so first off, the search party is the one that's, like, hunting for the path to this, like, hidden temple. The hunting party is the one that is looking for, like, Bulbian, like, missionaries and stuff who are out and about.
There's a search party looking for this temple? I thought I was the only one looking for it.
So, well, that's the thing. Saccharino did mention some sort of temple when you guys met her roughly around the beginning. Apparently it's pretty pivotal that she makes it there for some reason. You're welcome to join that searching party, that scouting party, and if you think that they might be, like, the same.
Define the same.
Like, if you think that, like, the temple she's searching for and the temple you're searching for are, like, the same temple, you're welcome to join that searching party and help them look for it. Like help them look for a trail.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Okay. So that'll help with their searching checks. Okay. You have a large variety of options available to you, Shara, as far as the other notes go. I'm going to read you a bunch of titles. You can roll the checks that are associated with it. So go ahead and, keep an ear out. So you have like a big collaboration of maps, basically a big thing of maps that they just kind of swept off the table. You have a bunch of missives that are titled The State of the Troops, The Push from the South, Fructera, Ceresia, Alliances, A New Concord, Chibata's Terms, Bashamiaso, and The Initiative.
Okay. Ooh. Just Shara, like, the minute he reads all those titles, he just takes out a cigarette and just takes a long drag and just goes, "Oh God."
Detective's work is
first,
never done.
The Initiative sounds interesting. I have beef with Chibata. So here's what we're gonna do: is we're gonna take a look at the Initiative, because I want to know specifically what were those monstrosities that we saw yesterday.
Okay.
And can we control them?
Okay. Let me go ahead and find that for a second.
I hope you don't mind, because you might have to go back through, because I only got the map, the state of the church, the push through the south.
Okay, I'll read it to you. I'll read them to you slowly then. So you have the maps. You have the state of the troops, not the church. The troops.
Same thing.
You have the push from the south.
Okay.
Fructera. Ceresia.
Ceresia.
Alliances. A New Concord. Chibata's Terms. Bashamiaso. And The Initiative.
Okay, Initiative first.
Okay. Okay. So you see that the Initiative is actually in reference to Candia's role in the overturning of the current Candian monarchy. So what you see here is that because of the tension between Ceresia, the church, and the House Uvano, a missive has gone out from Calroy Cruller that basically says that he's announced his pagan ways, that he agrees that a crusade is needed to scourge the wicked the wicked from Candia, and that he would like to be rebaptized into the Bulbian faith and saved. So you see that he's got a lot of here is like a note from kind of like a bunch of different people bouncing around because it's not just like one letter to another person or etc. It's like a bunch of people who've been writing letters in like this big like pen pal chain. So you get there's a lot of like communications from different bishops and archbishops from around the thing, and it references the Ramseyan doctrine again. But it seems that they object to the institution of it. It's not just Candian bishops and archbishops either, but also bishops and archbishops of other lands saying like, this is not something that we can support. Our flocks will wail in anguish at the institution of this new like law. It's not like every archbishop or bishop in the world, but it is a significant amount of pushback from within the church.
All right. So Ramseyan doctrine is tenuous.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, of course, that pushback is very carefully worded, because any of them would be like killed for pushing back like too hard. But every archbishop and bishop within Candia specifically is saying like, please don't come here and massacre like all of our fucking people and whatever. And in doing so, have put a giant target on themselves. To just like not be labeled apostate and heretic and killed and etc. But it seems that Elizabeth has sent something to Oliver Onion Patch that's probably like in his notes, which is like a private missive in like a hidden cipher. This would be like the first of those hidden ciphers that she's like done to him.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. As I'm discovering these things, I'm making a note, and every so often, I'm encrypting my own notes, and I'm sending them to our queen, my queen, and I'm sending less detailed notes to the other queen.
Okay.
And anything that mentions my uncle, I'm burning it.
Okay. All right, what next?
All right, so the initiative, the bishops are against it, so that's the initiative checked off. The doctrine is pretty bad. Next is, I don't know what Asamiyaso is. Do I know that right off the top of my head?
Bashamiyaso is like he's like the warlord of the Meatlands.
Oh.
They don't have like a king. They have just like a barbarian, like, because it's like a barbaric land. They don't really have a king. They do have a warlord, and that's Bashamiyaso.
Okay, then we're going to tackle the state of the troops.
Okay. Okay. The state of the troops is addresses as such. Today marks the 6th day of harvest dusk. So the fall has begun and the days are getting colder. So first thing you find is that it's a bunch of like military movements all throughout Candia. It seems that they have very much invaded Candia and they're everywhere. I
call Nerdanya. The minute I figure out these are troop movements, I call Nerdanya and I give her these documents.
Okay. You have notes of troop movements. So what it says, the south of Candia, so like the lowlands of Candia, are completely taken over by House Cruller.
Wait, hold on. Sorry.
House Cruller?
Yes, it seems that House Cruller has taken over like all of southern Candia.
Who's in charge of House Cruller now?
So basically, Saccharina, while you guys were like getting your asses kicked.
No, I know all that, but like specifically, what is this?
These are just like bunch of different notes that he's just been going through. Like it's like a giant info dump. I know.
What is this specifically? Did you already go through it?
I haven't gone through all of it.
I wasn't listening at all. So
Okay.
I need the beginning of the series.
Okay, so it says that today marks the 6th day of harvest dusk. And what that means is that fall has begun and the days are getting colder. So it's a bunch of military movements. It also states that the lowlands of Candia, so South Candia, is completely taken over by House Cruller, right? And as such, House Cruller holds Castle Candy. And the embassies and the heads of state of Fructera, Vegetania, Ceresia, and the Meatlands have all recognized House Cruller holding Castle Candy. The Dairy Isles have not, apparently, according to any of like the correspondences, declared a recognition of anything. They've just been silent.
Good girl. Okay. Who's in charge of House Cruller right now?
That's a good question, because as far as you know, you drowned House Cruller in a river. Or you drowned Cowroy Cruller in a chocolate river. Remember, these notes are a little bit, like, old, like a little bit outdated, because most of this was being written either before or about the same time that battle with Cruller was happening. So some of these things might say, like, oh, Cruller has done this, or Cruller is this, and it's possible Cruller isn't still doing it. Like...
Okay, interesting. Nordonia has the notes. I'm just gonna actually figure out the movements, use your knowledge to figure out where they're going to go next. And weak points.
What do you ask me?
I think he just wants... Say that again?
I can't hear.
Figure out the movements, figure out where they're going to go next, and if there's any point where they have to stop, we're gonna tell that to our allies so we can basically hit them by surprise. So when they get there, they get ambushed, and they have to turn back around.
Okay,
Am I able to make checks based on my, like, background or anything like that?
What would you like to make a check in reference to? Like,
just following this, what he kind of wants me to do.
Okay.
Is there like maps included in this, or any kind of like blueprint of like where they're planning to go?
Okay, give me a history check and then an investigation check.
I don't have my sheet.
Since her background is military, and there are 2 military people in the room, can she have advantage?
She can have advantage.
You said history and...
And you can do investigation or insight.
Oh, or insight.
Yeah, so you do have to make one history check, and then investigation or insight, your choice. You have a... Oof. Crawling, hold on. You're crawling. Insight is a +1, investigation is a +2.
Okay, so 15 for investigation, and then what was my history?
Your history is +2.
18 for history, 15 for the other one.
Okay. With a successful history check, you know, mostly from like old like squire training and like early military days, like you're very aware of like the different movement paths that armies must take in order to like the routes in order to get to where they need to go throughout like the southern Candia. Did you roll insight or investigation?
Whatever one was higher.
I think it was investigation, I believe. You could probably write up some counterattacks that might assist you like later on. Basically, you don't have the forces right now to do a full-fledged war with all of these different invading forces, but you could probably craft something that when the time comes would probably be an effective counterattack.
So are we going based on like D&D knowledge, or are you actually gonna, like, do I actually get to know any of this stuff?
What do you mean?
Like, are we gonna go over like exactly any of this stuff, or am I just when the time comes, I'm like, oh, I know where they are?
It will you've basically given your party a hidden bonus for a future encounter.
Okay. Would I have drawn up any kind of like map and then placed like plot points on that map, like, hey, this is where they're gonna break, this is where they're like...
Yeah, that's basically what you're doing. You're basically saying like, oh, they're pushing from the south, that means that they have to take this road to get to Castle Candy, and if they're gonna hold in Castle Candy, they need to push from Castle Candy to here. These are the parts that they have to go. There's no confusion to the maps amongst you. In that being said, I think this is probably a good time to go into an interesting thing. I will say with that, You are able to see. So with a successful check, you see this. You see that the push from the south of the army trying to cross the Cola River has, like, fallen apart. It has to have. There's no way they would have made it. With military knowledge like that, there's no way that they're still on the map, but there's no way that they made it with a check that you have, with a check that was that high. So the attack.
What the hell is going on?
So the push from the south of that army trying to cross the Cola River had to have fallen apart, because of the disagreement between House Uvano and House Uvano and the church. Politically, it couldn't have worked, which is what Shara could have probably guessed, and like militaristically, it couldn't have worked. So basically, and you see that this we're transitioning kind of into the push from the south. This is some information that you actually needed Nerdania to decode. So basically, there's a lot of like juicy shit here, like at this part of the notes, that with Nerdania's help you were able to decode. But basically, Carradin's correspondences, there's some stuff that they're basically, in this section, there's a lot of correspondence between Carradin and the Pontifex. But basically, the Pontifex has maintained that the Concord, she's basically said that the Concord couldn't exist without its constituent states. So everything that was signed in the original Concord was signed by Jaden of House Hershey, like Altazar's dad. And originally Altazar as well, when he was like a young general. So basically, before they got to the Cola River, Plumbeline withdrew her troops. So they pushed without like Fructeran reinforcements.
What?
Yeah, because basically, and you would have gotten this from your political background, basically, she was like, if the church is saying that there is no Concord, then we don't have an alliance, like, with anyone. And it was kind of just fell apart. Diplomatic relationships fell apart. And so she would, like, sort of withdrew. So that fell apart, and even as Cruller was, like, cementing his reign over the majority of Candia, the troops that were left, are only like Cruller's people and some of like the Vegetanian forces, and stuff like that. Which I will I will get to that in just a second.
Regions.
Yeah,
Where
so
are
it's
those regions.
okay. We will. You want to transition into Saresia?
Yeah, is that everything from the? I'm guessing that's the new Concordant.
So that is but that's a bit of like the hidden information in the push to the south and like the state of Fructera.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Saresia. Because
okay,
where's Saresia?
So I will say so. Saresia has completely been taken over by Chibata at this point. He has literally left Kambada after the tournament. Went home and apparently was able to assassinate all of his political enemies with the information that he had stolen from Alfredi's workshop, the one from Kamada that had like the water steel dagger like blueprints and the dirt that she had gotten on people. Like, so when he was robbing Alfredi, he wasn't just getting stuff to clear his name. He was finding out who knew shit. Who had dirt, who had needed to, and who had needed to like make moves, like who he needed to make moves on, basically. So Saresia's invading Candia because Candia doesn't have any alliances with anyone. It was like Candia was a sitting duck, and it lets him be Imperator by just taking over like the military and saying like, we're gonna go and I'm gonna win you a war.
Okay, that's good to know. That's because now we can kick them out because they're not fighting a religious war. We just have to make them lose enough for them to go, all right, this is not worth it.
Yeah, and as you actually say that, you can probably infer there's definitely some tension between all of these people.
Okay. All right. Tension. So that actually puts me to the alliance.
Okay.
What are our enemies doing? How are they feeling?
So this is your first encoded kind of like missive. So if you go ahead and give me an intelligence and a proficiency check, please. Like
Okay.
intelligence mod plus proficiency mod.
Two. Since I have linguist, does that count for anything?
Yeah. So you go ahead and roll it with advantage.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so that's my intelligence plus my proficiency, so that's a +9. Ugh. Since that's 2 3s, do I get to reroll one of them?
No, but 12 is okay. 12 is okay. It's not incredibly. It seems like it was only like encoded to keep like anybody who was like not super. So basically, there's probably not a lot of confidence that people who got their hands on this are super skilled at like decoding messages and things. So it's not encoded like tremendously. At least not these ones. So you see that there's a letter from Ciabatta that looks like it was intercepted by one of the Pontifex's spies, saying that there's no lost love between Fructera, Ceresia, and Holy Vegetania. But they do need to be wary of each other.
Okay. We need to win. We need to get allies, and we need to win badly. Okay. So the alliance is frail, and from the sounds of it, Ciabatta and Fructera really aren't into it. Fructera and Cereja really aren't into it, but they need to for what's like. Okay, cool. Got it.
The only information you haven't fully explored are the new Concord, Ciabatta's terms, and the state of Bashamiaso, and the rest of Oliver's notes.
Okay, Oliver notes is gonna have to wait. We are going to go to the senator. What were his terms?
Ciabatta's terms.
Yep.
So, you see that Ciabatta has some stuff here that he's been saying, that he does not wish to meet in the city of Kamada. Basically, they don't want to. Okay. You see that it's kind of like a response. It's like the other half of a letter. You're like reading kind of like an incomplete thing, so you have to like backtrack a little bit. You see, Cruller has said, sorry, I have to scroll up. I have so many notes here.
No, it's understand. You're running a war, literally. So
okay, so you see some missives from some of Grassini's stuff here that basically says that yeah. So he's been writing to on stuff about Cruller's, like the state of House Cruller, and he's saying that a crusade in Candia is needed, and as a result of the crusade to save the soul of Candia and like the Candians within it, which would also satisfy the Pontifex's needs, a new Concord would need to be formed in order to like if another nation were to conquer Candia. And if Candia were to become a part of Ceresia, you see that basically they would be able to bring quote unquote Candia back into like another Concord, in one way or another. Whether they came by themselves or as like a state or a property of another nation.
Yeah, vassal state.
You see that, however, you do see that there's this weird kind of like subnote that apparently Cruller has been saying something along the lines of like okay, you see that basically Cruller's been saying if Candia were to be conquered, a new Concord could be created, and that like the Concordant Empress, which is the word that he uses, could be anyone's heir or daughter. So it looks like that Calroy has basically sent this little web to satisfy the Pontifex need for a crusade, and to also satisfy Ciabatta's need for a win in a war, like and to conquer new territory. and also to satisfy Plumbaline's desire to be the Concordant Empress. So basically, he's saying like in a way he's saying one thing in the most vague way possible so that everybody gets what they want. But basically, he wants to be spared, like from the upcoming invasion, and you see that like he's basically saying he wants to be spared, ending up with him on the throne of Castle Candy as a Ceresian governor.
Good old uncle. Always knew how to get himself out of a mess. Okay. Alright, we know their needs. We know their wants. We know their desires. Oh, God. But with Cowboy dead, this whole thing falls apart. With Cowboy dead, there's no one to basically organize this anymore. Okay. And so does that tackle New Concordant and
yeah,
of the Senator?
the only other thing that is there is that apparently with all of the crazy ass like stuff that is happening, with all of the different nations who are falling apart, Fructera whole ass pulling out like and retreating, saying that they don't owe their loyalty to anyone. Cruller has put out like an invitation to all of the heads of like the different nations, stating that they can use there's a meeting at Castle Candy and all of them are invited since it's kind of like a neutral territory.
Interesting date.
Oh, sorry, you said the date?
Yeah, when is this?
Let me find that for you.
And is there gunpowder in this world?
Not in a traditional sense, no.
Okay. We can't Guy Fawkes it. That's okay, though. Hey, at first you don't succeed, try to blow up Parliament. Alright, last thing is maps and Ashimiyasu.
I think you already got Basha Miyaso, though.
Well, you actually already got the maps, which is what you need. Unfortunately, you were going to have to make a check on the maps, and you were going to need somebody with like a militaristic background in order to decode them, because to make sense of the troop movements, you actually already did it when you brought Nerdanya in.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So there's not a specific date per se, but it does look like they're maybe like looking to aim in about like a few weeks, maybe like 2 to 3 weeks.
Few weeks time.
There is like a bit of a hint. It's like we don't really have a date yet. Stuff's crazy. I'll send a message out within the next like 2 weeks so that we can like figure something out.
That's probably gonna fall apart with him being dead. That's unfortunate. Okay. Next, the barbarian king of the Meatland.
Okay. So Basha Miyaso, and his Meatland barbarians have agreed to fight on behalf of the Holy Vegetania.
What?
So long, they have said that as so long as that they are compensated for it. Because they're not just going to go to war for free. They don't believe in that kind of stuff. So the only thing that they could do is be heavily compensated to do such a thing. Therefore, there was actually money that's like stating that basically says like there's like a receipt in there that says like here's a whole bunch of like war bonds, not really war bonds, but like bags of gold and coin and stuff that was supposed to be given out to like the different soldiers as compensation. But basically It was in one of the buildings. Apparently, it was in one of the buildings that was like in Frosting Falls. It was probably in one of those tents.
We need to go back.
Yeah,
we need to go back.
So therefore they were basically paying for Meatlander mercenaries. Yeah, they're getting contracted to get Meatlanders to come in and fight for them. and stuff like that. But it doesn't seem that the Meatlanders are inherently devoted in any way, other than the fact that they're being paid.
Okay. We need to either convince them or... Alright, does the note tell of where the money is going to be delivered?
The money was supposed to be delivered to Frosting Falls. That looked like that, like, with the help of Nordania reading the maps, it looked like that one of the key, like, the key, like, attack points they needed to, like, overcome and hold was Frosting Falls. It being close to Duke Joren Jawbreaker, and eventually they would make a move on Castle Jawbreaker. It was like one of the first steps they needed to take to inevitably overrun Castle Jawbreaker.
They already took that step. We can expect the Meatlanders coming in. Does this tell of Basamyaso's specific location at this time? Or at, like, a few weeks ago, because these are letters.
There hasn't been a whole lot of communication from the Meatlands, other than him, like, responding, because they do have that weird kind of, like, web, like, that leather chain that is out. He hasn't been saying a whole lot, but it seems like he's relatively uninterested in the war, other than getting paid. So everybody's talking politics and diplomacy, and he's just very much as like, look, I don't care where we need to go, so long as I get the money for it.
Okay. Alright, so the people that are involved, Dairy is staying out for good reason. They need to build their strength. Fruit is pulled out, but they're still kind of supplying regions. They're fully pressing, but make them bleed enough, they should get kicked out. Meatlanders, they're strong, but if we get rid of the money or convince them that it's not worth it, they should be able to kick out. And the bald Vegetania, we just need to slaughter. Even if they wanted to surrender, they just need to die. Okay. All of this, like what I literally just said, like more detail going to my queen, like the 3 sentences that I just said is going to what's her face.
Okay.
And mentioning the doctrine and the crusade, so basically genocide. I'm not putting crusade, I'm putting genocide.
Interesting. Okay. Give me 1 second.
And I'm like, I also put down my best advice, like, hey, Sarija, they need a war. If we make them bleed enough, they should get out. Like, and adding like the specific stuff. So I'm basically sending like a small dossier to the queen.
All right. While you do that, Maple, give me 3 survival checks, please.
3 survival checks coming right up. Let me see here, survival.
I know. Murray.
$21, 5, and 18.
Okay, so you got 2 out of 3, which is good. You find yourselves, like with this hunting party, you are like in the middle of what feels like the middle of a snowy nowhere. You're high up in the mountains. The wind is blowing very wildly, very ferociously. You're bundled up. This is cold. Like, you guys are in a cold season, but this is like stuff that is like will make you like take damage from like cold damage and just from genuinely freezing to death. Luckily, you've got the help of like the marauders who are helping you kind of like stay away from, like, not stay away, but stay out of the blistering winds. Like these, or I guess it wouldn't be blistering, but like these absolutely bone-chilling winds, to the point where you don't have to take any like damage from it. But you find a hidden in the like a mountain, almost like buried beneath mounds of snow, the entrance of an ancient-esque building. And there's almost like a smell of pure, sweet, like sugary sweet magic that encapsulates the building. And in the front of the door, you see what looks to be some sort of like keyhole, but it's not in the sense that it's like a small key. This looks like it's like for a large, oblong shaped key. But they seem to have found the temple.
Have I ever noticed a key, like, around camp that would fit this?
Give me give me an insight check.
Insight is also 2. 15.
15? It's got a weird shape to it. It's a couple of things, but having nothing to compare it to, like, firsthand, it doesn't help, I guess.
Alright. Is this door the only way in?
It seems like this massive, almost like this made of, like, marshmallow concrete, like, door, these, like these double doors, closed, sealed with a keyhole, but it's so deeply buried within this snow that it either is the only way, or there's another way that is so much further down that you just don't have the equipment for, right now.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just head back to camp.
Okay.
Camp? Or should I set up a camp here? Probably wiser to just head back with the party. So I'll
Okay.
do that.
You guys come back, and you see, this is around the time when, Shara has kind of completed his different missives and has begun kind of, beginning his giant web of espionage, and, the very first thing that, you were asked when you and the party come back in is, Saccharines Hermes goes, "So what news have you on the Ice Cream Temple?" You see that some of the marauders are instantly like, "Oh, we believe we found it, my queen. It's deep within the northern peaks. It's easily a few, maybe half of a day's journey. But the winds are harsh."
You require some type of key for entrance. Do you have this in your possession already?
Let me worry about the key when the time comes.
Well, it just seems kind of pointless to go all the way over there if you don't have the means to get inside.
She kind of ignores your thought, or your what you're saying is definitely a valid point, but she seems to be too she's caught up in the fact that you even found it in the first place.
Alright. Actually, can I do a religion check to tell if that was the temple
Yes, you may.
of worship?
Sure, go ahead.
What is my religion? That is bad. $13?
Oh, definitely, for sure. It's got these old kind of old ways of the sweetening path, kind of these pagan hanging fetishes and things all over these long dead frozen trees. These what's the word I'm looking for? These kind of made of wicker, this licorice wicker,
I guess it doesn't sound good when you say it.
Licorice wicker, crosses and things that are made put into the ground, and stuff. It is definitely a religious building.
Gotcha.
I was confused too, Joe.
Okay. Just wanted to check. Anyways, I guess that's my bit done. Because I can't really think of anything I would do other than look around camp for the key.
I mean, have we come in contact with keys anywhere outside of it? I don't recall ever hearing you say anything about a key.
That's not my fault. No, you guys,
Can I look for one around camp?
Sure. Give me also you can give me an investigation, or you can just give me an investigation.
Can it be a perception?
Fine. I'll let you do a perception.
15, because I forgot to hit +5 and I accidentally fat fingered enter.
I'm gonna say, it can be like, it's probably one of two things. So it's either some sort of magical key, or it has something to do with, she's been holding on to this like wooden spoon, like, but not in the sense that it feels like it's some sort of focus, I guess.
Okay.
Wooden
Would that spoon look like it fit the shape in the door?
It's definitely possible.
Alright.
It's just like a weird glory hole for like duck dicks.
What?
What?
What? Depending on how big the lock is, because it sounds like a massive door, I might be able to just squeeze through the lock.
That too.
So you see that, like, Saccharina, takes a moment before, and she begins to rally her troops. Basically, she's like, everyone, I have an announcement. She says, prepare your things. We are heading out post-haste. The Ice Cream Temple has been discovered.
Wait, can I hear this?
I mean, she's not addressing you, but she's not being quiet about it.
I'll just rule that I can't hear this. I'm in my room, I'm like, this is what I think we should do.
Vargas is
Blah, blah,
also
blah.
out, so sleeping.
Like I said, she's not being quiet about it. You could probably definitely, like, her voice is echoing along the cavern chambers and like the cavern tunnels and things. So like you're definitely hearing something, like part of it.
Where's Caramelinda?
Caramelinda's just like she's not in the room with Shara. She's like in. You guys were kind of given your own quarters. She's just kind of been by herself this whole time.
Vargas, after hearing the echo, is gonna roll over and be like, "Hail," and go back to sleep.
Shara's gonna, like, just goes, is that what I think I'm hearing? Like, gets up, finishes cigarette, just walks out, goes, Commander, I heard something that I don't quite believe you said. You're doing what?
We will be making she says, we will be making our journey to the Ice Cream Temple. It seems that my scouts have found it, and the ancient secrets and magics, the ancient knowledge of Candia is something we will soon uncover.
Commander, is there a secret magical weapon in there that can kill demons from hell?
It's very possible. The secrets of the Ice Cream Temple are things that I can only assume are inside, but nothing is for sure.
Shara looks genuinely taken aback that she actually entertained the question. It's just like, I'll go get my... Wait, before I get my things, did you find the man that I was looking for?
Did she find the man you were looking for?
The church guy?
Oh, she says, oh, yes, him. And you see that, like almost like in like this weird kind of like tiny, like it looks like a dog's cage, like on his hands and knees, like way too big for the cage, is like very much like a Candian priest of the cloth.
Ah, excellent. Shara walks over, slits his throat,
Holy Christ.
and then leaves.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll gather my things. I'll be right out.
Jesus. All right.
Okay.
I'm taking his shadow.
All right. I take it you're heading back to translate Oliver's notes.
Yes, and as I'm walking down the hall, you can see the shadow of this guy disappears from his body, like wraps around myself, and I completely transform into this person.
Jesus. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So the Ramsian doctrine is composed of two philosophies, essentially.
Give me a minute. I need to start a new page of notes. This is the big boy stuff. Ramsey Doctrine. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I also gain. I don't gain any secrets, but if he's a priest, I gain any general knowledge. So if he's up to date, like I get to know like who's currently in charge of House Candy, like basic stuff.
Okay. So the Ramseyan doctrine is not a church philosophy, as much as it's a church cosmology.
Difference?
So it's not so much a belief on, let me explain it this way, and perhaps it'll make more sense. It touches on two things. The first is moral, ethical beliefs, and the second is that is like a belief about like what's going to happen. Old school, like blood and fire revelation about how the world ends.
Prophecy.
Yeah. It reads that the final destruction of the Hungry One by the bulb and the final salvation of all souls. Those cannot occur until the hungry devours the world.
What?
There are it goes on to say that there are certain souls that are they use the adjectives like delicious and like good for you. Has a curious language but contains like a curse word which can be like, and you, now that you know Bulbosi, the curse word loosely relate, like it's like trying to translate a word into English, but like there's not really a translation for the word. So the closest thing that you can get to is like junk people or refuse people or like junk food. But they are stopping the Hungry One from devouring the world because the Hungry One must feed on those that are considered to be healthy. And as a result, until these people are removed, the final salvation cannot happen. The next thing so I remember I said it was like there's two parts of the Ramsey doctrine. The other half is called the Perfidian Heresy. The Perfidian Heresy is a theological way to explain the existence of evil in the world, in which the Hungry One and the Bulb are equal in power. Because if they weren't, that would be the bulb. That would mean that the bulb was allowing evil into the world, essentially.
Yeah, typical church stuff.
Yeah, despite it being all powerful and all good, etc., etc.
This is why Cher's an atheist.
The Perfidian Heresy was later dismissed as heresy, and those who would not renounce this explanation or doctrine were in fact executed. A priest named Bartholomew Brocklepatch, who's like a very old archdeacon and it was actually the mentor of Elizabeth Brassica, was executed for not renouncing this idea and his belief in it. He tried to make it work for like a more palatable, he tried to make it work in a more palatable way, like within the church, but it didn't stick.
Wait, so this guy taught Elizabeth?
He taught Elizabeth the original Perfidian Heresy. He had her believe the Perfidian Heresy was a thing, before she kind of like flocked with the sheep into believing the Ramseyan doctrine.
Question: is this common knowledge that her teacher was a heretic?
No.
Interesting.
It's like knowledge that is, and it's ironic that the way you got the information that you did, it's like only knowledge within the church. It's a very hush-hush secret. Basically, it's like everybody knows that Brocklepatch was her mentor, but Brocklepatch was wrong, and as such, even though he was executed and like Elizabeth has that on her conscience, like has that in her past, like in her, like as a skeleton in her closet, she's moved forward as this almighty pontifex, this almighty religious being who, like, we being the church, should strive to be.
Interesting. Oh, some rumors are gonna fly today. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna go ahead and just continue. Give me 1 second. That's okay.
Do I
You
still have
probably
my
don't hand it to
spy
me. Maybe
network?
set it like right here in the middle or something.
Okay. Future of the head.
There you go. All right. So, are you, Nerdanya, are you in the room with, Shara still?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So before all of this, I was saying about how, Onion Patch was basically referring to like basically we're looking through his notes trying to figure out what is motivating the troops, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically it goes on to say that the Pontifex has finally made the move. So the church is in a position that the church's official position is that there are such things as junk food as unholy people, right?
So we're unholy?
There are scattered armies that are here that are Chibata's loyalists, and there are a lot of Vegetarians and Fruitarian lords who have just engaged in a giant holy crusade. It is not so much of a nation going to war as it's the Pontifex has said, like, it's a holy war, it's holy for you to go and fight them. Like to go to Candia and to loot and sack the place. Like there's literally a decree in there that says if you kill a Candian heretic, your soul is saved.
So they're being like racist.
Oh,
And if-
this is the Crusades crusade.
And if you can destroy a Candian like standing stone, your whole family's and like lineage souls are saved. Like a transactional church, like papable kind of transactional thing.
Indulgences.
Sir Carradine has been given the title the Mace of the Faith, and he is leading the crusade into Candia.
Where is he?
I want to write that.
Well,
You said Carradine's doing that?
correct.
We need to kill him. We
You
have to
see
kill him.
that the other big stuff that you find here is that
Do we know where he's leading? Like, it's obviously not the push from the south, so...
here's the thing. Remember that Grassini and Carradine push with their forces through Frosting Falls so that the Imperial army could overrun and take over Castle Jawbreaker. Carradine had then taken his forces and moved off in further into the central Candia. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he's more inland while we are on the outskirts.
Correct.
We don't know where.
Yeah, you don't know. There'd be no way to know where he's at specifically.
Well, I didn't know if it was marked.
Do I have a spy network? I know I had one when the campaign started, but do I have one that's still standing?
If one that's still standing is a good question. Like, that's gonna be send some messages, some secret messages out, and hope you get something back.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I feel like that's something I would have done in the first couple of days we were here.
Give me 1 second. So you see that there is a hidden message now, that is here saying that, can you give me an investigation or an insight check, please?
Investigation. That's gonna be a +6 advantage or no?
Is anybody helping him?
I can help him.
Okay, yeah, then you have advantage.
Okay. That's investigation, so that's a +6. 22, 24.
Nice. So this next part is not written openly. It's not a part that just Onion Patch has been writing down and taking notes.
Well, wouldn't I mean, maybe he would too, but if it's common, war code, wouldn't I know it?
So Onion Patch isn't a soldier.
Oh.
Onion Patch is like a Bulbian priest who's serves directly under Pontifex Brassica.
Gotcha.
So this is more like church speak, and the DC is actually significantly lower because you speak Bulbosi, but it is still also written in a weird cipher. But it's basically it is a missive. It's a literal letter of Oliver saying, "I worry for this meeting at Castle Candy because I do not wish for the Concord to be reinstated so quickly." That the church cannot call a crusade against the Meatlands after Candia is destroyed.
Yeah, this information. That's what Cheryl was immediately believing.
Yeah,
because,
you see that
Yeah.
following that, Elizabeth goes on to talk about how Archbishop Radica Rudabagans, how she was killed in the Meatlands, and it is something like that she mentions offhand about, but she seems to harbor some kind of like ill
Resentment.
feelings towards the Meatlanders, and even and it's weird because you see that. Like, now that you've read through the Meatlanders, like, that whole information bracket, sorry everybody for this giant info dump. The Meatlanders are not devoted, and they're not anybody's ally. So for them, for Holy Vegetania to reach out to the Meatlands and say, help us in this war, almost doesn't make any sense. Like, come help us in this war, even though you owe us nothing, and we'll pay you for it. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You're seeing here that, though she has said that, like, that's been said in an open missive, here in this private missive, she's saying, just so we're clear, once Candia goes down, we're taking over the Meatlanders next.
Yeah, that was obvious to me.
Like,
As a player, I was like, oh, why is the Meatlands doing this? It's clear that once Candia goes down, they're next.
100%. Yeah, so basically, continuing on, what's not in a hidden cipher is her telling Oliver that if she comes to Castle Candy, she wants a full Crusade guard, and Carradine there to protect her. And it will also be bringing, like, the Book of Saint Citrina so that she can ensure that Ciabatta and Cruller are not working together with Plumbeline.
Well, she's gonna be in for... Yeah, this meeting's not gonna happen with, Cruller dead.
The last piece of information from Onion Patch's notes are not religious notes, but alchemical notes.
Yes.
Turns out the Bulbian Church, like, apparently, like, the Holy, we'll call them, like, the Holy Crusade, they can't crack how to make water steel yet.
That's very good, actually.
It looks like Alfredi had some sort of hidden knowledge that she died with. Even with...
Wait, so they actually killed Alfredi? Sorry for cutting you off.
Alfredi was legitimately killed, yeah.
Really?
Even with their schematics, they can't figure out how to make water steel. Like, no matter how much they try, apparently something is missing. But they certainly figured out how to animate these, like, old Ceresian statues that they kind of mash together with the corpses and stuff. Which they have figured out how to alchemically animate, like, looking into Alfredi's notes. Like, Alfredi figured out how to animate these statuesque golem things. They have figured out how to replicate that. Huh?
Is that what attack does?
Attack? What?
Is that what
The creatures that attacked us inside
Oh, sorry,
the city.
I was mishearing what you were saying. Yes, those giant weird golem statue corpse things. Apparently Alfredi was the one who figured out how to animate them. It seems that the Holy Crusade has replicated that.
Does it have a note of how many and what their weaknesses?
How many? No. It seems that they're just in production. It is undeniably incredibly expensive in order to do it, not just like in funds, but like in straight resources. First off, you need like a giant statue of something, and then secondly, you need to be able to fuse it together with like mounds of corpses, which is like not something that you can just get at a Costco.
Well, you can just kill Candians.
It would be Costco. Brutal.
Okay. And weakness.
As far as weaknesses go, it doesn't speak much about weaknesses so long as that what they can't seem to figure out is that with all of even though the corpses are dead, the mind kind of still exists, like after the like reanimation like process. So it is a walking amalgamation of minds, first, I guess. And when those minds are in like a state of flux as they are, it is a constant clash of insanity. So the things are prone to being like turned insane. provided like there's enough of a psychic overdose. Essentially, like in D&D terms, these things have like a weakness to psychic damage as well as like mind influencing effects.
I was gonna ask if I use detect thoughts and push, and just begin to like tear into like being like, hey, what's going on in there? Would that essentially make it collapse in on itself because it no longer can concentrate?
That would be something that would be, I guess, worth trying. But remember, you'd be probing into literally like tens to hundreds of minds that are just constantly in pain.
Yeah, if it's I could take the risk, especially if it's like a very thin layer of control. It just needs one touch and it shatters. Okay. Crew, my party. Anything that you think we should probably take from this? Anything that comes out?
I think you hit it all on the head there, bro.
Okay.
Good sleuthing, my guy. Good sleuthing.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know if you needed help for that.
I think you were good, dude. Like, you got it.
Yeah, it's just like one of the final questions is Caramelinda.
Which one?
Caramelinda. Does this mention anything about the princess, Caramelinda,
Oh yeah.
and the
Fuck.
king?
Azakaria's still alive.
It does mention Azakaria, and she is still alive. It seems
Where?
they've been holding her as like a token in Holy Vegetania. She was taken from Kamada. Her being associated with like her being associated with Bonnet and Cadbury, who was openly like quote unquote outed as like a witch. And then the king, who was not only a witch but like an eldritch witch, like the witchiest of the witches. She's been taken to Holy Vegetania to like undergo like serious faith conversion.
Oh God, no! Oh. Does it tell the exact location or just says Holy Vegetarian?
She's being held she's being held like deep in like the spear, like it's like the church of like the holy church of Speria, like the it's like the Holy Mentha Cathedral.
Okay, so the headquarters basically.
It's like one of the biggest churches in Holy Vegetania, yeah.
So we're not getting her back unless we mount a mission or we win the war.
Good job, Shara. Damn, bro.
Okay. I'm just going like
The
Shara.
Pontifex is
at
still
this
alive,
point-
yes.
She's running all of this pretty much.
Yeah.
She is running it. I guess she is running it, but not just that she's running it. Basically, everything that she says isn't just like, they're not orders. It's basically just like, by the way, Holy Crusade, go nuts. And everybody goes on a Holy Crusade. She's not like, I need you to attack Candia and you to be like, she's not like that.
Yeah, so there's no actual leader of the military. There's no coordinated effort. That's the problem. That's the problem with this alliance. There is
Well, I
no
guess we're just gonna
coordinated
kill everyone.
leadership. We like this. I don't want to take any more time, but we really need to discuss as a party our options here. Especially if we want, like, we can either choose hit and run tactic, kill off the leadership, or like try to fight a legit.
I mean, do we
But-
have any way of even getting past this? Like, even let's say we kill every leader, is that gonna change the nation's look upon us? I mean, how do we get out of this?
Yes, actually, if we kill, I made a list while we were talking. If we kill Meatlands, we just need to convince their leadership. Fruit Terrans, we just need to convince them, like, hey, this really isn't in your best interest. Sarija, the easiest way to get Sarija out is to kill Tabata, because he's the emperor. He's holding this whole thing together. Vegetarian, we can't kill her. We have to embarrass her with the skeleton in the closet. And Candia has no strong leadership, so we need to find a way to get into that position of saying, like, we need to announce to someone, to the rest of Candia, like, saying, hey, things are bad, but we still have a leader. Problem is, who are we gonna choose? Jawbreaker, our queen, or the fake queen?
Okay, so baby steps.
Baby steps.
That's the big idea. Baby steps. First, we need to figure out a way out of the mountains and back into either we're going back to Castle Candy, or we're going to the Duke Joren Jawbreaker's castle. Let's start there.
Where is
one
Joren
are we going?
Jawbreaker, by the way?
Joren Jawbreaker is in like the so you guys like came back to the to like the cave. He was escorted by some of the other people that escaped through the portal, like with you guys. It was like some townsfolk and a couple of like loyalists, and they've been escorting him back to Castle Jawbreaker.
Why would they do that?
Cause what's he gonna do? Live in this cave?
I don't know. I didn't know we let him out of our sight. I thought he was still with us.
But you guys in like in the middle of your conversation, like the wooden door opens and Saccharina's there with Gooey, John Bon, and Swifty, and she says, I hope you've made your arrangements. If you're quite ready, we will be heading out to the Ice Cream Temple soon.
Before we leave, Commander. And like he's like has all of his notes on top of the table and just really stressed out. He turns to her and goes, if I need to know honestly, what are you looking for? I know you said
If I could be frank.
Did he hear us?
Hmm?
Is he still there?
Yeah.
You
What?
sure?
Are you guys still here? Yo.
Told you.
What
I
happened?
Cut him off like half second. No way he's done talking. He doesn't ever stop.
Yo.
God,
Can you hear me now?
God has abandoned us again. I'm so tired
Oh, it's
of
not
being
it's
abandoned
not detecting
by
my
fate.
microphone for some reason.
we're literally fighting against the faith.
I think I see it.
Let's go. Is this thing on?
No.
Guys, God's not here. Let's just go and kill everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, we're dead.
Natural 20s. Natural 20s.
What are they gonna do? Fight back? God's not here.
Yep.
No, you stop it.
Kill you. God's not here to stop me. Bet.
Oh,
Let's go PvP, guys.
Teleports into the capital, saves the
What?
princess, blows up the castle.
I see Mike stopped working. Oh. What? I don't
One
get it.
sec. Mike
Oh.
stopped working.
Oh.
It's okay.
Ha 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 ha. Blindness.
Hey, I didn't make a blind joke. That was all you, buddy.
It's my fucking blindness to make
We're
joke
still on
of.
stream.
We are still on stream.
I can make joke of blind. No? Me no blind joke?
Check. No, it's like my mic stopped working.
But
It's like
anyway,
broken.
baby steps.
Great.
So where are we going? Hello? Am I
We're waiting.
Uh-uh.
We're waiting for his mic.
I said let's go to check out this temple.
Yeah, at this point, we need
Okay.
to figure out. we
I
need to
thought that's
figure out
what we were doing.
Yeah.
Like,
I was
is that
just-
that? I mean, I think
but
it's obvious just from this episode name, and the fact that this is the sole thing that we've been talking about. That the ice cream temple is the obvious place to go.
Well, no, I know.
Well, to be fair, with all of this information, we have a lot of other avenues because right now we could just play assassins. We'd be like, all right, cool, time to start picking.
I
off
am not an assassin. I'm a warrior. If you want to
No,
send me
exactly.
anywhere,
I
you
say
you
for
send me the
sake-
Meatlands with that piece of parchment paper, and it's like, yo, she's gonna stab your ass in the back if you don't fight with us, and then
Actually, that's a pretty
I
good
will
idea.
fight his ass if he says no, and be like, all right, trial by
Think of
combat, right? Fucking
everything.
now, let's go.
For the sake of everything, I say we go to the ice cream temple.
I'm hoping we get magical powers.
That would
That
be
would-
I
cool.
don't want magical powers.
Now, magical weapons, something to make this easier, because this is an uphill fight.
Dude, something tells me this temple is not good news.
I mean,
I
Well,
mean, yeah.
it's either
but
a
like-
magical temple or genocide.
bruh. If we about to die, we about to die like a bunch of bosses, bro.
Okay, this is just a theory, but what if we kill the sun?
We kill
What?
the sun. We kill the bulb.
We
There's
break
no-
the light
Hey,
bulb in
listen
the
to me.
sky.
Listen to me.
Break the light bulb. In the
There's
sky.
there's no church if there's no bulb. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but then the hungry ones will be mad.
No,
Like,
no, wait. This is something I've always thought about ever since the beginning of the campaign. I've been so close to be like, all right, screw it. I'm gonna make a pact with the hungry one, and we just go all in on the hungry one train
high key though.
because he
What-
doesn't want to eat us. He doesn't want to eat us. He wants to eat everyone else.
Yeah,
Mm.
candy. It's disgusting. Hey, if we're still on stream, by the way, kids,
We
eat your
are.
fruits and vegetables, and
Not
remember.
your candy.
Oh. Remember, kids.
Discord. I also didn't hear you in roll 20. Never mind, you're echoing through roll 20.
So,
Should we switch to roll 20 because I have audio and microphone off.
I mean, I also don't hear him on the stream.
Hmm.
does anybody have a good message for the children?
If children are watching this, children stop watching this. This is not a child-friendly campaign.
It's really not.
It's misleading as all hell, though. It's called a crown of candy. Why? So, I will take over as God. The war
No,
is
you
over,
won't.
and we all won.
I'll take over as God. 5 candy golems spawn in your cave. The Ceresians invade. You all die. No combat, you're just dead.
You all just got one shot.
TPK campaign's over.
We're all dead. We're sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody. We promise it is not our fault, nor is it the magical DM's fault. It is just a fact of life. Technical difficulties. Did anybody hear that, or am I just like alone?
You're alone. You're
Oh.
sad and alone.
You know, Joe, you don't have to attack me like that. You don't have to do
It's
that.
okay, I'm also sad and alone, but we're just sad and
No.
alone separately.
We're sad
We
and
should
for
you
different
should
reasons.
really look at the stream. It's so fun watching Sully trying to figure out what.
Oh
to do.
yeah, I'm just looking at all the settings.
What is going on? I have no idea. What? Watch it just be that his wire was loose.
It's not his wire loose, because I feel like his wire
was loose. Like there
Okay.
wouldn't be any input through roll 20 when
where we were echoing.
Have
But-
you tried turning it off and on again?
Are you guys echoing right now? Can you hear me?
I don't know. It's just it's strange because he has input, but his
Have
microphone
you-
still isn't working. So
Have
I'm
you
trying to figure out how that
attempted to turn it
happens.
off?
Honestly, I have no idea how to fix this. I'm just memeing.
Hey, smile for the memes, bruh. Bruh.
The Reddit moment, guys.
Bruh.
Check.
I could hear you on the
Shara,
stream
Talk
very
live.
quietly.
What'd you say, beautiful? I didn't hear your beautiful voice. Joe,
What?
I asked you what you said, beautiful. I didn't hear your voice.
I'm okay. Hang on. I'm trying to listen. I heard Sully very quietly on stream, so now I'm trying to intently listen.
Mm. Like a quiet monkey.
You guys are so retarded.
They can't hear you.
They heard us for a second.
Because they can hear me on stream, but they can't hear me.
Does anybody have a mid-session like
But they can't hear
question
me
to ask the audience? Drop a
Audience, what's your favorite D&D class?
Oh, that's a good one too. Jesus. I was just gonna be like, drop a 1 if you think we're gonna TPK in this temple.
Nah, let's actually engage our chat. Chat, what's your favorite D&D class? Why do you like it?
Nobody says anything. It's just crickets, bro.
Yeah, nobody wants to tell us what they are.
Well, keep in mind there's a stream delay. So I
Oh.
just heard me ask that question on stream.
I forgot about that.
Whoops.
All right. The Rising Emperor says fighter.
Nice.
I like that because that's the class I'm playing right now.
Fighters are so gay.
Every one of them.
Can't hear you.
Also a good choice.
You know, I hate the whole human fighters are boring because it's not class race combinations. It's like the character that's boring.
I don't like playing humans just because, like, for me, humans are just like it's boring to me. We're in a fantasy setting. There's so many other race options that aren't human.
Then why
Like-
are you playing
Mm.
Vadix?
Vadix is a tiefling.
Oh,
Vadix is
I
half
thought
demon.
Vadix was a human. I'm so stupid.
Yes, you are.
Whoops.
And like now I'm a syrup person because like this campaign called for like, hey, just be made of candy. So I freaking homebrewed a slime person race and then just overlaid that with syrup.
I like that. By the way, are you
Mm.
like Miss Buttersworth like level like syrup, or are you like that generic like Publix brand?
Huh?
Like what kind
A
of
maple
syrup?
syrup. What? It's just maple syrup.
Okay, but
It's like
there's,
Aunt Jemima's or like fucking store brand. I've seen some good organic shit at my store. Like,
The real question is it buttered or not?
Guys, you
Yeah.
guys are not reading chat.
no, I'm not.
I've been
but
reading chat.
No, you're not. I'm in chat. You're not reading chat.
I can't, well, what is the chat?
Oh, I
say?
think it means the group chat.
We're back.
A question from chat, and the question is, how many episodes are in the making? Well, we're on 8.
That's a God question. I don't know if Discord's on the stream yet, so I don't.
All right. What's the word? What's the word? Check. No, I'm not getting. Nope. Nope. We were so close.
No,
Not
I think
3.
think-
No, we've got more in it than 3 with the role play and whatnot. I'd say we've probably got like
4 or 5.
about 5, probably.
Say 4 or 5 left.
I think we're going at a faster pace than they are going on the show.
Okay.
Possibly.
But-
And I mean, you know, our campaign is different. Like Sully said before.
I mean,
um,
yeah, nobody makes the same choices.
Yeah. And plus,
Whoa,
we're
whoa, 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 whoa. Did we get it? Wait, give me a minute.
Can you hear me?
I can hear it on stream.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
my
yeah, we're on stream
it's,
again.
It's definitely a.
The question is God speaking?
This is tripping me.
It's
Yo, that delay is insane.
for sure a
Hey,
Discord
God.
problem. What?
I just heard a voice in the back of my head telling me to shut up, so.
Wow.
I love how we have 2 streams that are flawless. And then it's just like, bang.
I heard God on stream, but I can't hear God in Discord.
Aww.
Well, this sucks. I have to get off in like 10 minutes anyways.
Oof.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye, Ed.
All right. Listen.
Bye, guys.
Listen up,
I'll let
friends.
you know
Please
if
don't
you
kill me.
I
die.
don't think they can hear you.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
gonna
I'm
kill you.
gonna stick around for another 10 minutes because I have fun hanging with you guys.
All right.
Okay. Well, that was kind of sweet and made me smile. And I don't smile a lot anymore, so thank you.
Wow, thank you.
Should we switch over to roll 20? If
Oh,
you can
yeah.
hear us Sully, put it in chat.
Wait.
Hoot.
So we're gonna do this real quick. Leave that. 'Cause Discord is shit in the bed. We're gonna go to broadcast, voice only, receive, voice only, reconnect. Can y'all hear me? Oh wait.
Hello?
Hello?
Is roll 20? Okay.
Hello?
So I'm talking on roll 20 now. I've deafened on Discord. I don't hear anything on Discord.
Hello? Can y'all hear me now?
Doing the blue line thing.
I know, I see it. Can you hear me? I think they're still in Discord.
If they're in.
Maple, you there?
I can hear you guys. I don't know if you can. Can you guys not hear me?
I can hear you, God.
Oh, cool. Dope. It says Vargas can't hear me though, so I don't know.
Is he in roll 20?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he's broadcasting and receiving, or I don't know what his settings are, but clearly,
Oh,
I mean, clearly Shara got it. Like,
I can hear you.
yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear Dom.
All right, this is why we switched from roll 20 because like we
Correct.
had the
Because
problem before.
their stuff is trash.
Dom's also like retarded sometimes. Are we sure he's on Roll20?
I
He is,
can hear God now.
I can
Let's
hear Dom.
go.
Okay. Yeah, I can't hear him. Regardless, here's what we're going. Oh, he's reconnecting.
We did it.
I still can't hear him if he's speaking.
I don't hear him if he's speaking.
Can you guys hear me though still?
I can hear Sully. Dom, can you hear Sully?
I can't hear Sully. No.
I'm not. I mean,
I
I
can
wasn't
hear
speaking
Dom
till right
now.
now.
I can hear him now.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right. So let's go ahead and
We
burn
done
through
it.
this. Let's go ahead and get through this. Sorry for the delay. As it says. So Saccharina, you ask if what she's looking for in the temple. So she comes to you and she just says, if I may be blunt. Oh, I figured somebody was gonna say anything. Okay. She says, if I may be blunt, she says, you don't know what it's like to know who you are, what you are, and have and possess the inability to be absolutely powerless, to do nothing but watch as the world happens without you. But I don't. But I don't have to be powerless anymore. And now my home is under siege by. Well, you know them, you've seen them, and I can probably guess you've done battle with them. If this temple holds the secrets for a victory, then I will take those, because that is what you do when you are the queen.
Are you willing to die? Be
If-
gutted on the stairs and your organs used as medicine to save another. Are you willing to die?
If such a situation would prevent itself, I see that as the only, and that is the only option, then yes.
Can I insight check this?
Yeah.
Sherrod really doesn't. He simply just says, I was hoping for a yes unconditionally, but I guess that works too. And he just grabs the stuff and gets ready to go.
She's hard to read, Maple. She's real hard to
Yeah.
read. She's just real shady. So, like, it's really hard to tell.
I'll roll as well.
Vargas draws his swords and he's like, I'm
Trust it.
following you.
I don't.
Ugh.
Damn.
Sure.
Damn.
Body for
Sherrod
everybody.
really doesn't care, probably. He's probably like, alright, fine.
You are escorted back to the set of the Sugar Plum Fairy standing stones within the temple. Is everybody standing inside of them?
I am, yes.
The standing stones that are in our base.
The one that's in like the cave. She kind of has her own. You guys used them originally to go to the Frosting Falls to save Joren.
Oh, the teleport stones. Okay.
Yeah. Is Karen Melinda here?
She's here, but she probably isn't going to go.
No, yeah, that I just wanted to know that, hey, we're gonna go, like, make sure please don't get murdered.
Yeah, wherever Carolina is, like, I'm not sure that I feel safe leaving without her.
Do you want her to go
You
with
would
you?
rather take her into danger?
I may not go into danger. The last time I didn't go somewhere, the king died. Okay?
So you're staying?
I haven't decided. Give me a minute.
We only got 5.
Is anyone gonna be here with her?
She has
Nope.
like people like with her like that are gonna be here, but it's at this point it's if you trust her guys.
Yeah.
Who is her guys?
Saccharina's Marauders.
I mean, we have a homicidal gingerbread man. I don't
He's
trust
coming
these
with us.
folks.
But he's
coming
coming. He's coming with you.
I still don't trust these folks. That one character and the fact that she's okay with that one character. Come on. Who knows what else these guys can do?
You're just mad because he tried to kill you.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
I do need an answer.
Turned on you. If she dies.
It's on you.
Don't.
No,
that's
it's not.
not how that works.
The queen is capable and can take care of herself,
Yeah, I gave her a whacking stick.
and she's also probably a more powerful magician than any of us,
I also gave
except
her
the
a whacking
commander.
Yeah, and the king was a true warrior, and yet he is dead because of my hand. You
To
see,
be
it's like
fair,
this
the
voodoo
king
whatever.
was stabbed in the back by my uncle, who had a magical water steel dagger, then pushed him down the flights into the river. If you see any rivers nearby and magical water steel daggers, do let me know. But we need your help.
No, Danya, it's up to you.
I want to talk to whoever's here, watching over her.
It's just like a bunch of like marauders. They're like,
We'll line them up,
okay, so you ask Sakurina to line them up.
I suppose. If
Okay.
that's who's in charge of them.
Okay. She says she has them, the ones that are like on queen detail or former queen detail. Stand up. She goes. She's very much like stand at attention, and she says, she looks. She says, go on.
She basically just stands pretty humble, honestly. She's not her normal intimidating self, and she just says, I only have one question for all who stand in front of me. If the choice came down to your life or hers, would you pick hers? If not, I must stay. If the answer is yes, I shall trust you with nothing else but her life, and I will go. What say ye?
You see, there's like some murmuring. They're kind of just like, what? And she says, she looks to you like kind of like she like taps you on the shoulder, like gives you like a tap on the shoulder. She says, "Marauders, I believe what she's saying is that while we are gone, if any harm comes to Cara Melinda, know that you will be dipped in the largest vat of water that I can find by your toes. Am I understood?"
Can Cheryl walk up?
Sure.
Because I'm pretty sure they were there when I cut that guy's neck. I simply walk up and say, "If you do not take care of my queen, I shall slit your throat, wear your shadow, and kill your families. Do you understand me?"
There is instant, just like there. Some of these dudes are like Andy's mints, and you can just see that like some of them are like they're like starting to like sweat, like that chocolatey coating.
Good. We have an understanding, Nordania. We have to go. And he turns and he leaves.
I follow.
Okay, you enter within the standing stones. Sakurina taps her spoon onto the groom, and boom! You guys are like thundering. You guys appear in the midst of you guys appear like it is cold. You guys arrive in the circle of standing stones. It is freezing fucking cold out here. This is in the high mountains. Just you guys are in something kind of like the Rockies right now. Like more like this is the fucking Himalayas. You can tell actually that the peaks soar up here, and probably like it would take you probably like a few days travel on a road that would take you maybe a couple of hours. It's so jagged and craggy up here, and even with that, you know that just on the other side of these tallest mountain peaks, there are 3 to 5 miles tall, just enormous sky-rending peaks of deep red and blue candy stone, with ice cream swirls and flurries on the tops of their peaks. You see covered in partial ice cream and snow steps leading in up from the circle of the sugar plum stones up into the mountains. Stones glow, and you know that the teleportation room behind you has been sealed. You begin to wind your way single file. With what order are you guys traveling in, by the way?
I call front.
I'm behind Shara.
I'll be in the back.
Okay. So then I guess everybody kind of falls in between you guys, which is fine. It is dark. But it's like incredibly like moonlit and starlit. It's like there's snow on the ground and everywhere, so it has this weird like otherworldly, almost like bright as day in the middle of night from the reflection of all the stars on the crystals of ice on the ground. this you gotta understand, these mountains, like I was telling Maple, the brutality of just like the pure survivability is not very good up here if you were to ever find yourself lost. But luckily Maple and the scouting party had already scouted the areas here, so they kind of already have a path for you. You ascend what looks like not just mountainside, but a frozen staircase that has been long frozen, hidden away from time. You arrive at a an icicle, very like almost like a Italian ice, dark, like a very dark, like matte white colored gate. Huge ancient Sacrosi pillars, pink like strawberry pink, chocolate brown, vanilla white scoops in the huge arch, ancient primordial ice cream temple, and a hallway with a huge locked door in front of it. You see there an ancient symbol of some sort of old spoon in the front of the door. Saccharina approaches. You see that she puts the door forward and very like Kingdom Hearts Keyblade, old, ancient, like swirling, cold, cinnamon-smelling magic begins to encircle her and her spoon, and a loud bass-ridden the doors are opened with a great force. Light, sugary, lavender, plum light spreads throughout the doorway. The door creaking, and a blast of freezing mist begins to descend down the stairs into darkness, snaking down the mountainside. You cannot see the floor here. The walls, the ceiling, the mat are all natural caverns. Although shaped so conveniently, almost as if people here shaped the mountain with something other than their hands. The cavern opens up. The hallway extends. Who wishes to descend into this dark hallway?
Me first! Me first!
I'm following after Shara.
Okay. So Maple, you begin to walk down the hallway, and there is a familiarity here, and a magic that it almost feels like as if you were a puppet. These would be like the magic that control your strings. You feel like you almost belong here, like something of you or that is you. There's an origin here.
Question.
Yes.
Is it dark? Do I need to light a torch?
It is pitch black in here.
All right, lighting a torch.
It's not just black, but like the stairway, now that the door's open, the snow mist has been coming in and coating the staircase, the walls, the ceilings with this like mist. So you can't even see your feet.
Dark
Torch
vision.
it is.
Okay. You begin to descend. You see that as you guys go in, you see that Saccharina actually puts her spoon like across your chest, stopping you, Maple. She reaches out with the spoon and taps the floor, and like a loud lightning goes off as a trap blows this like frozen ice magic like across like a giant like horizontal flamethrower.
Malfunks.
She says, "Anytime. Do not let your enthusiasm for this magic place get in the way." You guys find yourselves walking through hallways that are crystalline and icy with these like freezer burn style ice crystals. And you begin to look in and see various reflections as you walk through this next hallway that glows with a luminous icy white light from behind the ice cream. Such that this place is sort of almost like a dim illumination. Almost so otherworldly, so magical that it's like almost like that of an illusion. Mist again covering the floor. You hear as the winter scoop approaches that you hear things in the walls, like traps, metal clanging, but like they're like disassembled, so like they're not doing full cycles. It's just like ominous, like background ticking. Maple, you are head out in front of everybody. Make a perception check for me, please.
You got it, boss.
Shara's definitely talking to Nordon. Like, do you think this would make a good
That's a
fort?
bad.
7. Okay. Sorry, what was that, Shara?
I'm just talking to Nordania and everyone else. Like, do you think this is a good fort? Like,
Nope.
mm,
Did you say fort?
That
Well,
perception
could have
thing
been
is just
worse.
for Maple or for everybody.
Everybody can roll a perception check if you'd like, but Maple was in front, so I just figured that he was the one that was like scouting for you.
I'll roll one.
I'll tell you what.
roll
If
one.
somebody else wants to roll, you can give. So I will say this: Maple has a torch, and it doesn't shine very far forward. So unfortunately, Maple is the only one who can make the check, but you are able to give him advantage if you'd like.
I'll give him advantage, especially having dark vision.
Yeah, I'll give him advantage.
13. Okay. Maple, as you are walking through this place, you almost invisible by the darkness. Like, granted, you have a light, but the darkness seems to almost swallow the light that is illuminating from it with its sheer frost, like the frost winds. You see many eyes, golden, and the eyelids of a deep purple and plum. You hear a voice. You hear a voice that echoes within your head. I cannot see you, but I know you're here.
Did anybody else hear that?
Yeah, I was about to ask, do I hear that?
Nobody else hears it.
I'm gonna hold out my arms and like stop the party. So you said I see the eyes, right?
Yeah, it's like there's like 8 eyes, like 4 on the left side in a vertical fashion, 4 on the right side in a vertical
Like
fashion.
that. I don't like that.
I also don't like that. I'm gonna take my already lit torch, light another torch, and just throw it that way.
Okay, you throw it. The light from the torch bouncing off these frozen walls onto another frozen wall, onto a frozen ceiling, onto a frozen floor. The light, the eyes catch these different reflections and they begin to spread. It's almost like throwing the torch made the reflections like worse. So like they multiply and they just spread. You guys don't see the eyes until now. You definitely see that there's thousands of these these pairs of 8 eyes that begin to spread all along the walls as the fire descends the staircase and hits the bottom.
Sully, detect thoughts.
Okay.
Immediately.
You detect thoughts. You hear.
How many?
You only hear one.
Okay.
You hear one. Though there are thousands of eyes, it seems like they belong to one consciousness.
Oh shit. Shara says that out loud.
What? What's wrong, Shara?
Many eyes, one mind. What the fuck? What's on? What? I'm not pressing. I'm just like skimming right now.
You see that the torch clacks at the bottom of the stairs, begins to roll on like a flattened surface, like it has reached the bottom of a staircase, rolls forward a bit. You watch it roll off of a ledge and just drop, and that light slowly fades. But the thing is, you don't hear it hit anything. You hear it fall, like you see it fall, but it doesn't. You don't hear that hit of another surface below it. You hear that same voice, and it says, "Welcome to the temple, Maple. This temple was made from those very much like yourselves in ages long past. And yet, my fairy feet have been the only ones to tread here in quite some time." You see that her pupils narrow vertically, like some kind of animal. And you see that, like, you look to see a smile of blue in this ice crystal. You see that it's almost like this creature is shifting around. So like there's like a set of eyes with a face that is on one wall. She smiles, it moves to another wall. And you hear a voice that now all of you can hear. "You're all a long way from home."
What exactly are you?
You see that a luminous light here And the fact that it's coming from everywhere, warm and diffused, means that you do not currently have a shadow here. Like, you're standing here, and it is just like you ask your question, and you start to see that there is just a true, like, magical, like, field that is secluding you and illuminating you in a strange way. You say, what are, like, you asked her what you are?
Yeah, like, what are you?
By the way, I still have detect thoughts on, so whatever she's thinking immediately, I do get like a bit of that.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
I am an asshole.
Do, I am scared.
Same. Everyone asks questions, and I'll be like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna say a word. I'm not gonna press. I'm just gonna stand here and be like,
Yes, interesting. Please give me more of your brain thoughts. I like this.
You see that she says, you ask who she is. She says, "Why, I'm the Sugar Plum Fairy. I am the protector of all things Candian."
Can I roll insight on that? Because I don't. This is not the Sugar Plum
Sure,
Fairy that
go
I
ahead.
knew.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that too, because I also believe in the.
What is the thought? Does
Um,
she actually think that she's a sugar plum player?
You honestly, she seems to believe that she's the Sugar Plum Fairy. Not just that, but you hear her say that she's the protector of all things Candian, and you see that she is thinking so what she's thinking is come forward and I will take you to the pure place.
Sarah's gonna step
15
forward.
on the insight.
I rolled in at 20.
Shara's gonna step forward.
I'm following directly behind Shara.
With a natural 20 insight, you guys begin. Are you guys walking down the staircase? Because she's not like in front of you. Like it's.
I've like stopped the party's advance.
She's okay. So she doesn't seem like she's in front of you because in front of you is a downward corridor of stairs. Her like visage has been like reflecting off the different walls and things, but you don't have like a thing that you can see. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's not like a physical creature in front of you.
Okay.
So are we gonna should we keep moving forward or should we just stand here?
I believe she wants to take us to a pure place.
What is this pure place?
Is the pure place the dead?
What is she thinking when they ask the question, what is the pure place?
She a pure so you think that you hear her basically in her thoughts. The pure place is a place without where all Candians can be safe.
Do we need to die to go to this place?
Okay, I'm going to so I'm gonna say this. You're asking her questions, and she says, "You're Candian. If you go into the mist, you'll be safe, where none can harm you. None of these false gods or prophets or those that worship things that are not of this land."
Works for me. I push past Maple and I'm going into the fog.
I am on edge right now. This doesn't seem like the Sugar Plum Fairy to me.
Works for me. Going.
I don't.
Well, however, I can't stay anymore.
Okay.
Is she lying to us?
Good night,
I got a
Ed.
15 on my insight.
Good night, guys.
Ed, do you have like
Later.
Night.
Okay, good night.
What does the commander do?
You guys walk down the stairs. You see, okay, you begin to walk down the stairs, Vargas. In the mist, like again, these shapes that are like reflecting off the walls. You see these shapes. You see four adult women, and like a younger adult woman like in front of them. And the four women have their hands on what looks to be the silhouette of like another person. And behind them are other shapes. One of them looks like a smaller, like Candian, like noble, with like a little hint of green. And you see like a little like a bright colored road made of pure illusionary light that stretches away onto a platform before going down into the mist. curving away from a central column in the very center of the room. You see that the Sugar Plum Fairy looks to you and she says, I can take you to the pure place. I can take you where I take all the hungry spirits that were sweet and syrupy. I can take you down a road that goes to a land of only candy, where all of our magic lives forever and ever and ever. And all these people that you miss will be there waiting for you.
Twirl my sword.
This is
I've been working,
very bad.
I've been working so long and very hard. The bulb, the church, is going to burn everything sweet and syrupy out of the world forever. Unless we can bring it here. And I've been bringing everything here. Everyone here. And that I can, everything and everyone here that I can for so long. And now, finally, with the help of my champion, I've brought you here.
Who's your champion?
Just our party and the fake queen? Or...
It's just like all of you guys, Saccharina, Gooey, John Bon, Swifty, but like that's it. It's just you guys.
I reach out to like everyone. I give them like a look that basically says, "Get on me now. If you don't, I'm leaving you."
She sees like you see that there's this like presence.
I'm very much just. Like,
What's Saccharina doing?
Huh?
What is Saccharina doing? How is she responding to all
She
of this?
seems a little apprehensive. She seems a little thrown off, but she is slowly descending the stairs, kind of like with Vargas.
I tug on Shara's shirt.
Yeah,
I
Mardania.
Loja, I'm not sure descending is the greatest idea right now.
You hear a voice as you say that. You hear, Maple, do you call me a liar?
I grab everyone that I can who agrees, and I run up the fucking stairs. If you are willing, say I, because if not, I'm leaving you.
You see the light, that white light that is coming in from the door, goes out as the door slams shut, and you hear the same voice, almost like this sweet little tiny voice.
Oh, shit.
Almost like a distortion has come over it. You hear her say, that hurts my feelings.
Is this door 900 pounds? Because if not, I can fucking open it.
Well, we'll get there. She goes, I'm just wearing this shape because it's nicer, and it would make you more comfy. I thought that.
I'm like banging on this door. I'm like, fuck!
Boom, boom,
Shara?
boom. A sound of
Shara is descending.
a sound
He's
of
descending the
of
stairs.
heavy flesh slamming on the door as you try to open it. You descend the stairs, Shara, and Maple. You see that she turns to you, and she says, or she doesn't turn to you. She turns to Saccharina. Sorry. She goes, I know why you're here. You're a lot like your aunts. She wanted to take everything special about Candia and just leave it lying around where anyone could come and ruin it. And she wanted to put it into spells and put it into weapons, but if something's special, you don't leave it out where it can be ruined.
Is there really no way for me to push this door open?
You're trying.
Is it 900 pounds?
It's not that it's 900 pounds. It's more so that you're not getting any footing. You're like
And it's
pushing.
magic.
And it's
Is
sliding
this
you back up
really
from
the Sugar Plum Fairy?
Following both of my swords, and I'm trying to like.
the door?
Sure.
Saccharina.
Psionic die and whatever else I can use.
You're welcome to try. You draw Vargas. You draw your swords.
I'm drawing my swords, and I'm kind of taking like a defensive, like I'm protecting Saccharina right now.
Okay.
Stand.
You cover Saccharina. Saccharina like notices you. Again, her face isn't much like, oh yeah, this is what I wanted. She's very much like in a weird kind of like regret position right now. You see that just like a tiny little fairy like swoops down out of the darkness as you've reached the bottom of the stairs, almost from like the top of the cavern in like an overarching ceiling before she sweeps down. This tiny fairy, maybe roughly about 4 feet, swoops down like a lapis lazuli color, like a deep lapis blue. These like 6 beating wings. Again, those 8 eyes. This
What
like
is she
tiny-
thinking?
And you see that she says, don't you see? You could ask
And you could ask the Jolly Giant, the Hamburger Helper. You could ask them how well they fared not having a plan of getting away. She is thinking very much like on the fact that like why won't they listen? I'm only trying to protect them.
Forgive
God-
me. Forgive me,
It's a
Goddess.
size, but yeah.
We mean no offense. It's just the area and the darkness, and we've been through a lot. We just apprehensive. You can understand. I'm trying to calm her down because if whatever she is, it's ancient.
She looks to you. She looks back to Vargas. Looks back to like both of you, and it's like kind of like between the two of you. She goes, "Oh no, are you mad at me?"
I mean, you
No,
could have introduced yourself a little like less like.
No, not mad at you. Not mad at you. Not mad at you. And like he's very much like Vargas. Don't make her upset.
You're trying to calm her down. You hear you're like no. You hear I've only ever tried to help. I've sent my deepest worshiper, the caramel man of the cloth, and I knew that I've sent my little caramel priest to you. She goes, my little Jamal, my little Twixit, and I knew that he would have to die to protect you. But you'd lose everything. And I knew that you wouldn't come here unless you'd lost everything.
Insight.
I also want an insight this.
I'm also inside.
17 damage. It is a massive boom. You've definitely like shuttered the door a little bit, and as she says that, they're making their insight checks. She has very much like looked up past them at you at the door.
Cool, I'm gonna do it.
21.
Okay. 21.
Because
What?
I technically have 2 attacks.
Fuck 12.
17.
So
Because Jamal was my friend. We hated
Jamal's
each other.
my friend.
Yeah.
I
We
watched
hated each
them
other,
all die.
but we loved each other in a weird way.
Another thundering bang as the door again shutters open. It looks like you're making some progress, but whatever the magic that is holding it is strong magic. You're going to need to get rid of that first before that door will slam open. But you're on the right
Message,
track.
Nordania, stop.
Well, hold on. Insight checks. You guys got good insight checks? She basically told you that she killed Jamal. Like, not in the sense that Jamal died for you, but she did something to Jamal to where he was killed. Does that make sense? It's not so much that, like, Jamal wasn't the kind of guy that was like, he was like, don't worry, I will sacrifice myself for you. He wasn't that kind of guy, and he didn't die that way. He died as if he didn't stand a chance against an enemy that was, like, far more powerful. Like, he was set up.
I sprint towards her. Sword in hand.
You are reading her thoughts, and the only thing that you can think of, Shara, is, did you kill Jamal? She turns to you and out loud says, would you have come if he was still alive?
Oh, I'm mad now. Oh, now I'm mad. Oh
Wait to
no.
hit her?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So what do you just like leap
I
at her?
sprinted downstairs. Sword in hand, about to attack her.
Okay.
If she gets in range,
You guys see as this brewing of confusion spreads across you. You hear a clack, 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 and leaping over you from over the stairs, sword in hand, Nerdania drives her blade straight across the figure that is the struggle for flame. You land trying to do like that horse stop where like your legs are trying to stop yourself because you hit ice and you're sliding. Give me an acrobatics check, please.
No damage? Then a 22 hit?
Hold on.
Well, does any of my stuff change, by the way, now that I've leveled up? Because I'm looking at my old sheet.
No, because you took a feat.
Okay, so nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
While she does it, I'm gonna look to Shara and ask him.
You said acrobatics?
Yes.
I have a 0. 10.
10's enough. You feel your front hooves stop as you were at the lip of a drop.
Great.
A drop into pure blackness, by the way. But you stop. So go ahead and roll your damage.
It's only my long sword.
Oh.
Shara, did she? I'm gonna ask Shara. Did she?
Where's my other stuff?
Yeah.
Did she? Did she have something to do with the death of my first mate?
Hit to go second person.
And like
Check
Shara
that.
is physically going.
And then
Why
I'm going
did
to
not
goading
anything
attack.
go
So it's 12.
I'll take that. I'll take that. I say yes. I'm
16.
standing there like starting
And
hand.
then she has to roll a wisdom.
Roll a wisdom save.
So 16 damage, and she has to roll a wisdom.
Okay. So she takes 16 damage. I'll have to keep that in mind for the start. You drive your blade across on her as you carve across. It doesn't feel like flesh that you hit. It feels like your blade went deeper into the flesh, but you hit significantly less flesh. Does that make sense? It feels like you hit a mass further down the tip of the blade, but you're like halfway down the blade, and none of that feels like flesh. She kind of like is like not knocked back per se, but like kind of knocked into space as she almost like loses her flight for a second. She looks at you and she goes, "So, my true form, you wish to see? Let it never be said that a fairy did not grant wishes." You see, the true sugar plum fairy appears. Faces, so many faces. So many faces, so many wings. A massive form, almost like an angelic creature that is formed with like the hideousness of a true eldritch nightmare. Sores and mouths, eyes, and of overall faces and eyes. You see that she like looks to you, and it's like the face that she was wearing, almost like a mask, that like 8-eyed fairy face, and then they begin to spin almost like a rotating cylinder before it stops on this face of a horrific monster of pure nightmare. Fangs. This 8 eyes has maybe multiplied to about 14 to 16 eyes, scattered across the head like that of like a spider, or like those honeycomb eyes of like a bee. And you see that she begins to tear out of her tiny form of flesh, growing larger and larger, going from about 4 feet to about 14 feet. And then
Shara starts singing.
next time.
She has to roll her wisdom.
What?
18
we're
plus
killing
2, 20.
God. Cutting words.
Well, hold on, relax. Because next time, you guys will do battle with the sugar plum fairy.
Oh God, I hate
Boo.
God.
Leaving us off on the
Boo.
next time when I'm all riled up and ready to kill God.
All right. Sorry for the technical
Oh,
problems, everybody, but thank you for sticking in there. Seems like our Candy Crusaders have gotten themselves into a bit of a mess. A battle with the
Why
sugar plum fairy.
can't
What's
we
everybody
win?
feeling? What's everybody feeling? What's everybody thinking?
I'm
Why
mad
can't
at
we
you for not
win?
letting me kill God right now.
Dude, no matter what we do, we can't win. Ugh.
I was trying to stop Nardania like before she did that, because I have Sentinel and I could have stopped her before she did that. But okay.
Well,
No.
I wanted to talk to it a bit more.
well,
I guess I'll just do that at the top of next session.
Eldritch deity.
we're gonna figure out what happens next time. Just remember, I know things are bad, but remember, they could always be worse. Tune in next time for our next episode of A Crown of Candy. Thank you for sticking with us.